now we know like how to create a constraint within the create table statement where you have constraint customer gender foreign key in here, referencing to the gender table on gender ID column. So coming to you know how to alter a table without actually having to drop a table every time you add a foreign key or make changes to the table. It need not necessarily have to um, drop a table, because if you have like millions of customers, dropping a table is a hassle, right? So you need to create a temporary table, dump the data into a temporary table, then drop the original table and then make changes, create the table and put the data back into the table. That's like more, unless you really had to do it, that's not a recommended approach. So databases came up with alter table approach where you can alter a table and add a constraint on the table, right? So for that, the syntax is alter table and the table name, and you can add is the syntax, is a keyword, and then the syntax is pretty much defined however we defined it over here. I just copied it from here and pasted it over here, right? Right here, right? So what it does is it creates a constraint, it adds a constraint to the table customers, creates a foreign key on gender ID in customers table, referencing to the gender ID in the gender table, right? So this is the syntax which you're going to use a lot. And then let's try this example, right? So let's say if you have a insert table into customers where you're entering the columns first name, last name, entering data into columns first name, last name, and gender ID, and the values are ping pong and 4. Please observe here, the 4 doesn't exist in the gender table, right? Gender table has only 1, 2, 3 columns. So when you try to enter an ID that doesn't exist in the gender table, then automatically it's going to throw an error saying that, hey, you violated the foreign key constraint that is placed on the customer table, so you cannot enter any ID that doesn't exist in the gender table, right? So that's how we maintain referential integrity, right? And so now what is the right way to enter the data is you're entering first name, last name, and gender ID again. The values are first name, last name, and this time we actually choose a gender ID that actually exists within the gender table. So when you pick the right values, it's going to let you pass and it's going to enter the record here. So now when you go into customer table and when you look at it, now there is sorry, I've been playing with this table for a while, and it's probably might have entered 24 as as an incremental value, but I can always change it to whatever value it is and just save it. Anyway, so if you look at here, the inserted record is ping pong and first name, last name, and the gender ID is 3. So thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, I'm in the next upcoming videos, I'm going to introduce a different concept called self-referencing foreign key. So that is also an important option that relational databases provide. So look out for that video as well within the playlist.